All right, I'm actually going to go to my first guest, I think. I think we have Leon on the Rehab Power Hour. Leon, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. How you doing?
Hey, who else do I have there with me on Rehab Power Hour?
Hi, Shakira.
Hey, Shakira and Leon. Welcome to the Rehab Power Hour. First of all, why don't you just maybe introduce yourselves a little bit? Tell me where you're calling from. And I think when did Leon have the neurologic injury?
We're from Union, New Jersey, and
Okay.
it was August the 4th, 2020.
Okay. Very good. And so, talk to me about your experience so far with rehab. Tell me how things sort of from the stroke. Tell me sort of what the path was for you guys.
Um, wow, it's actually a long haul. So
Sure.
he had after he had the hemorrhage stroke, he went to rehabilitation center, which he ended up going back into the hospital because he ended up with fluid in the brain and had to have an additional surgery.
Okay.
From there, back into to the rehab, and for the most part, everything seemed to be going pretty good. He started walking on the cane like in December
Okay.
of last year,
Congrats, Leon. That's a big step. Yeah.
but still with assistance, and I'm still
Okay.
actually I have to walk with him.
Okay.
Right, he's experiencing some sort of dizziness where he didn't have before. Just don't know where it's coming from now, and we're dealing with the doctors with
Hmm.
that.
Okay.
So right now, as far as his physical therapy and stuff like that, it's kind of like at a halt because of the dizziness. The only thing we're using right now is the foot therapy,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
Um, and basically, we're just looking to see like, what the foot therapy can do for him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, tell me a little bit about how long you guys had the Motus foot so far.
Um, has it been a month yet? I think maybe a month.
Okay. About a month. Okay. And talk to me about what's besides the dizziness and that kind of instability. What kind of things are challenging, most challenging rather? Is there kind of tone? Is there weakness? What's going on with us?
Well, there's definitely some. Well, he's tired a lot,
Okay.
and on top of the stroke, he ended up diagnosed with aphasia. So there's a
Okay.
communication thing too. So there's a couple of things going on.
Okay.
Um, I mean, but other than that, yeah, that's a lot though. So other than that,
Sure.
like,
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Let's say specifically about walking, right? So, of course, the balance and instability is of course, a concern.
mhm.
But was there drop foot? Was there issues with having too much tone in the toes to kind of not have the ability to push off? What's kind of going on with you guys in terms of the lower extremity on that right side?
There's actually really no movement from the knee down to the
Okay.
foot, along
Okay.
with his arm as well, from the elbow down to his fingers.
Okay.
There's no movement.
Okay.
He can move the leg, but it's like I said, like from the knee down, it's still nothing.
Gotcha. Okay. So very good. So this is good information for me, so I kind of know what we can do best to, I guess, make the parameters fitting. Because we want to actually make sure that the foot mentor, the Motus foot, is appropriately tuned and giving Leon the kind of best chance at significant improvements. So that's kind of really what I would like to do today. Before we kind of get started, I'd be happy to do kind of an assessment to kind of see where we are. But I'd also like to ask you guys if you have any sort of specific questions. It looks like you guys have done a really great job actually putting the foot mentor on, which is good. I like the sort of position. I may actually ask you to maybe move the camera a little bit so I can see kind of the side, the profile, if you will. But do you guys have any kind of questions for me before we get started?
No, I just kind of wanted to get on here to make sure that we are using it the proper way to make
Sure.
sure everything he can possibly get out of it. Um, so he can possibly be able to walk on his own and um, possibly get rid of that cane as well.
Yeah, totally. And I think actually this is a really good situation, right? I mean, balance and sort of instability, really common after stroke. So I don't think you guys are in kind of a room by yourselves. That's really common. And actually, I might actually even ask the individuals who are in the live stream here, tell me if you've had balance and instability issues following your stroke. But I think being able to have something that can be used to improve your walking function, but that's also simultaneously able to be used in a seated posture such that it's a lot safer. I think that's a really good option. So I'm happy you guys are using this. And I think it could also go a long way to helping improve the strength and the range of motion of his right leg and ankle and foot to kind of, once you guys figure out that the dizziness and the balance and the stability issues, that will then translate quicker to real function. So I'm happy you guys are doing that. And it's also good to just mention that is a sort of a positive feature, being able to do something kind of in a seated posture. It's just safer.
Right.
Okay. So let's go ahead and actually get to it then. Without further ado, I think you guys have the Foot Mentor turned on right now. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, very good. And from my view right now, it looks like you guys are actually playing, and it looks like Leon is playing. He's in Strongman, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So what I want to do, I'm actually going to take a look at the data right now, just to kind of see where we are. And one thing that I am going to ask is, is Leon having any sort of pain anywhere in his foot or his ankle?
No, he doesn't really complain too much about that. It does swell up sometimes after
Okay.
you, but that's about it.
Okay. No, it's just good to know in terms of, do we want to avoid certain ranges of motion, or do we want to encourage movement and as large amount of range of motion as possible? Sometimes if there is some pain and maybe an end range, you want to avoid that. So it's good to kind of mention. I know you mentioned he has some difficulty with communication, and so I wasn't sure if you guys had a more extensive discussion of that, or if he had made any indication there were problems there.
No, I just when after he uses it, sometimes his leg is numb, but I guess that goes with, just using the machine sometimes.
Okay, he said going numb. Okay, let's see. What part is numb?
From the knee down. From the knee down.
From the knee down. Okay. That could also, does it happen on the left side, or is it only when he's using it on the right side?
Only on the right side. He only uses this on the right side because his left side is fine.
Sure. No, I was just asking, sometimes what happens if you have some numbness, it could be that you are adopting a bent posture of your knee, and you actually have nerves that run down the back of your knee. And if you're putting a lot of pressure on them, that will actually cause them to kind of compress, and that will cause them to be numb. And so one thing I may want to do is I may want to actually recommend potentially making sure that the back of his calf is actually supported. Because you can imagine where the top of the Foot Mentor is, there's kind of that bar that goes across, that frame. I want to make sure that's not compressing against his calf. If that's the case, then we're going to put like a towel behind that, because that could actually cause that kind of compression and cause that numbness. Okay. So that would be just one thing that we want to watch out for. You guys still there?
Yeah, we're here. I heard you.
Okay, very good. That's okay. That's okay. Okie dokie. So let's go ahead and actually hit the, so you're in countdown right now. Very good. I'm gonna actually have you go down. You can go ahead and hit, skip through all of these, and we can explain this later, but I'd like actually to do a quick assessment. So if you wouldn't mind, go in and hit to get through all the tutorials here, I'll have you go hit the home button in the top left.
You see that right there? Hit that.
Very good, almost there. Exit. And the home button, that kind of looks like a little house in the top left.
The house. Hit that.
Okay. Very good. Actually, go ahead and hit pause for me. So just touch the screen anywhere. I guess touch the screen. So try on the, yeah, go ahead and touch the screen. Okay, and then in the top left, there we go, very good. That's the home. Okay, and once it pops up to the main menu, I'm gonna have you hit on the left-hand side, the button called Telehealth. Go ahead and press the Telehealth button for me. And then Assessment. Excellent. Okay, and I'm actually have you go ahead and, Leon, I'll have you move up and down as much as you can for me.
That's this.
You don't have to hit that, that's fine.
So you said move up and down, move what up and down?
Oh, Leon, you're right, foot and ankle as much as you can. And if you can't move, that's okay, no problem.
You can move your foot up. Just like this, like this. You're saying you can't.
Okay, that's okay. What we'll do then is I'm gonna have you actually go ahead and just relax for me. Okay. And it's gonna do a little bit of movement, and this is just me, so don't worry about that. You may hear that pop up. There we go. Okay. So just relax as much as you can. I'm gonna come up here and do a quick range of motion check. So Leon, you tell me as soon as you feel any sort of stretch in your foot or your ankle, okay? Okay. Leon, you still doing okay?
I'm still here, yeah.
You don't feel no real stretch?
Yeah, we're still below where he normally operates. I think we're probably okay. Okay. And you guys can actually watch this on your side. You're seeing those numbers on the left-hand side going up and up and up, which is good. Okay. Still doing all right there?
How long then is it my leg be off?
Do you feel the stretch?
No, maybe it's not more.
No, I'm asking you, do you feel the stretch in your leg?
No.
No stretch? Okay. That's all right. Go the last little bit there. Very good. And just relax as much as you can. Okay. So this is just going to help me make the Foot Mentor, the Motus Foot, have good settings for you, Leon. So I'm going to make a couple of modifications, if you're okay with that, just so it will actually accommodate you better. So actually, Leon, go ahead and press down as far as you can. Imagine like you're driving a car and you want to go pedal to the metal. As far down as you can.
Press as far down.
Good. Very good. Keep going. Keep going. See that number on the left? Can you make it go down to like -6? See how far you can push it. All the way down. Push, 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 push. Almost there. Oh, I saw 6. Very good. Okay. Very good. So make a small modification here. Okay. Okay, so I think we're done with that assessment. So Leon Shakira, if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and hit the back button on the top left.
Okay.
Okay. And you can go ahead and hit home, and then we'll go back to begin therapy. So I think this is actually quite important what we did here today, and that was making sure that the settings were tuned up for you, because otherwise it's not tuned for you. Pretty simple. And so I think there was a little bit of a discrepancy there in the amount of movement that you had, Leon, with respect to what there was set at. And so I think we're in a much better place now. So I'm going to have you hit play for me. Very good. We'll do a couple of modifications here during this. And what's going to happen is your screen's going to pause a little bit. And that's okay. So it's going to pause here in a second. That's just me making a modification. So you can go ahead and hit play again for me. Okay. There we go. All right. And so you were asking earlier about what's the appropriate way to play this. And so Leon, you're doing is you are actually controlling the temperature of that thermometer. Okay. And what you have to do is you have to really relax your foot and ankle as much as you can. And the Motus foot will then come in and provide that assistance to help you move up into sort of what's called a dorsiflex position. This is almost like if you're driving a car and you're trying to let off the gas pedal. So you want to really kind of point those toes to the sky as much as you can. Very good. That's much better. Very good. And you guys can actually see that on the actual screen where it is going to go down. And so it's a little bit funny because lower temperature is more points than what we want to do. You can think of it this way. That kind of stretch or that resistance to movement in your calf, that's kind of what we want to cool down a little bit. We want to move that down as much as you can. So you can imagine just relaxing and moving those toes up to the sky. So as you relax more and you're able to move those toes to the sky to a greater and greater extent, the points will actually go up. Does that make sense?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good. So we can actually go through a couple of these games just to make sure that they're making sense to you. So if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and go to the, let me go ahead and do this really quickly here. I'm gonna make one more modification here. It's gonna pause once more and we'll go ahead and hit play again. Okay, there we go. And just relax, draw those toes up to the sky as much as you can. Very good. Okay. So you can see, Leon, how that sort of temperature is going down and down and down. It is flickering a little bit. That's maybe because we're a little bit unstable. That's okay. You can imagine we want to get that down at a pretty good level, but we also want it to be consistent. So it's not flickering around, kind of jittering up and down. Ooh, that's really good. Very, very good. Question, guys?
No, I was asking him, like, does it feel different than it did before?
Okay. Does it?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good. So I'm going to have you guys, after this repetition, once it goes to pause screen once more, we can go ahead and actually, well, we only got about 10 seconds left. So we'll go ahead and play this out until we go to the next one. So go ahead and hit skip for me. And we'll go to our next game. And we'll, just, again, make sure that we have a good understanding of what the actual activities are. Okay. You can go ahead and skip this one because you just did an assessment. So you can go ahead and skip this. Very good. And actually, while we're doing this, are there certain, because you guys have been playing now for about a month or so, do you like any of the games in particular? Are there ones that you do like, ones that you don't like? Because we can also make a modification to the prescription as well.
Most of those plays still approach to my leg. My arm stiff, you know.
No, not your arm. Like with the game that's on here.
No, anyone.
Anything in specific that you like?
No.
He has nothing specific.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah, I apologize. I couldn't hear a whole lot of that conversation, but it sounds like you guys were discussing. It doesn't seem to be something that's especially concerning. Okay, so let's go to strongman here. Let's hit play. And so what I'd like to do is, yeah, very good. So this one is much more of a direct control, right? So when you're pushing the pedal down, just like you're trying to press the gas pedal down, that's going to make the strongman bend down and to pick up that weight. So really try to go down, Leon, and really try to pick up that weight. It's going to move down as much as you can. And I may actually make a couple of modifications here on my end, just to make it a bit more appropriate. Just going to pause on your end. Go ahead and hit play for me. Very good. All the way down. So you can see those green arrows on the left-hand side. Those are actually helping you kind of give you some direction on which way you should move. Very good. Very good.
So is he moving his foot? Like, is he assisting the machine?
Yeah, in the early stages he is. It's a very subtle movement. He's actually able to move down into plantar flexion, which is good. I think the dorsiflexion movement, so that's kind of moving your toes up to the sky, that movement's a bit more subtle and maybe not as strong. But the plantar flexion movement is it's detectable, which is nice. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this again, Leon. Really try to go down. Press that pedal down as far as you can. Go down. Very good. Oop. Not sure what happened there. So I think this is one of the things I was talking about earlier, guys, is that you really have to pay attention. So when it is giving you the cue to move down into flexion, you really have to go down and do it. Okay. And actually right then and there, that was him moving rest period. And that was that amount of movement was actually just coming from Leon himself. Okay. Very good. So what I want to do, guys, is I would like to maybe skip to one more game.
Okay.
We'll check that. So we'll go ahead. I'm relatively happy with this. Okay, so we'll go one more skip here. Okay. And while we do this, coming up in just a minute or so, we'll actually do the contest. And so stay tuned for that drawing, and I will go ahead and ask my colleague in the studio to get that spun up. Okay. Here we go. Here's the game. Looks like. Okay, so it sounded like you guys were actually playing Countdown for the first time. So you guys, are you familiar with the game of Uno?
No.
That's okay, yeah. So we can maybe just walk through this really quickly. So go ahead and hit play for me. Okay. So you are playing against 3 other people, and those are on the edges there. And what you can do, you can play cards on the center, okay? So that center card is like a red 9. And you can play cards that are similar in color to that. So you can play a red card on another red card, but you can also play a numerically similar card on a card. So if it was like a red 9 that was present, and you were to play maybe a green 9 on that, that's a valid play. The other way to do, I think, is to if you have trouble with colors, if you have difficulty with visualizing or distinguishing colors, you can actually look at the shapes on the actual cards as well. That will help you to map them. But you basically will just go around, and the name of the game is try to eliminate all the cards in your hand. So kind of like rummy in that case, or gin rummy, if you've ever played that before. So very good. Okay. So we can actually go ahead and kind of figure this out really quickly. Looks like, so what you can do here is you can actually play your wild card. So Leon, go ahead and press the wild card button, or the wild card on the screen for me. So you can go ahead and highlight that. We'll go one to the right, that one, there we go. Okay, and then you can go ahead and play it, very good. So what you have to do is you have to actually select the card that you want to play and then move it to the center of the deck where you want to play it. And you'll be asked to do the various motions of moving the card from its position in your hand to the position on the play field. I think you guys are actually you have the handle of it. I think you understand the games, and I'm much happier with the settings as they are now. But I think it's really important though to stay cognizant of and staying engaged in each of those activities. Though, okay. So what I'll do, I'm actually going to go over and run this contest really quickly. We'll do the drawing, and then I'm going to go over to one more guest, but I'm going to actually sort of finish off the Rehab Power Hour with you guys and kind of check to make sure that you guys are still doing okay and how all the settings took after all the games. How does that sound?
Okay, no problem. Thank you.